I've received numerous tips that all are very, very similar. And these tips came from individuals who have claimed to be familiar or know Corey Gamble from when he still lived and worked in Atlanta. Corey was once a performer in the adult film industry. Multiple people came to me sharing this information and that they had seen him while they were working on certain sets. And obviously, I am not going to share their identity for their own protection.
Kanye texted Corey something really rude. Kanye was like, I think it's weird. Like, we've never met his family.
That's weird.
I mean, of course, we've all felt that way and thought that, but for Kanye to just so bluntly say that to him, I feel like that was the wrong choice to make at that time.
You guys sit and talk to Kanye, and if you talk to Kanye, he's going to put that up here and run with it.
I mean, it is weird. I'm not saying that
we're all different. How about you used to be weird? We all put up with each other.
24 hours before the raid, Kim Kardashian decides to unfollow Diddy, right? Well, come to find out, this person by the name of Lou Taylor is apparently Diddy's manager. And this Lou Taylor woman is also on the board of Hillsong's church home. Follow me, go with me. They are doing all of this, child, in the name of the Lord. Just follow the story. Now, to cover myself, everything in this video is alleged, honey. This is what I digged up, and I don't know how much truth is to it, but there's reportings, okay? So everything that I'm saying is allegedly. Keep that in mind. So, Lou Taylor apparently is paying off, allegedly, some of Diddy's victims from this slush fund through some church fund, okay? Not only that, Kim Kardashian mama has been making these girls pay 10% tithes to some church that Lou Taylor and her husband is basically owner, co-owner, or whatever. So I was like, let me look into this Lou Taylor person. I'm thinking Lou Taylor was a guy who was a woman with a husband, whole husband, and they doing ministry and everything. Now, mind you, y'all remember the whole thing with Britney Spears? So come to find out, Lou Taylor, this gets deep, y'all. Hold on. Okay, so Lou Taylor is the CEO of TriStar Sports and Entertainment. She's like a business manager icon. Now, Mike, do y'all know the Lohans? What's the Lindsay Lohan? So she apparently, allegedly, she has been behind most of these stars' conservatorship situations, especially Britney Spears. So before we talk about Britney, Mike Lohan, which is the Lohan girl, Lindsay Lohan's daddy, accused Lou Taylor and the mama Dina Lohan for trying to put Lindsay Lohan in a conservatorship concerning her money. Also, allegedly, there's a lawsuit from 2021 with Astroworld tragedy, and she's being sued for employment discrimination. This is what this Lou lady is. Now, Lou Associates maintain intense control also over Britney Spears' life, and money. And she was behind even the conservatorship of why Britney Spears had that conservatorship, because she ended up becoming the business manager and took over the financial pieces of Britney Spears' whole situation.
Baby, the walls of Hollywood are crumbling. And guess who's standing in the rubble, throwing gasoline on the fire? Kanye West. But this time, it's not about Kim or his rants. It's bigger. Kanye just pulled back the velvet curtain on a secret so wild. Even Kris Jenner can't PR spin her way out. According to Ye, Kris didn't just stand by while Diddy allegedly silenced his victims. She cashed in. He's accusing her of helping fund hush money payouts and, get this, claiming Diddy paid for her new face as a thank you gift. Nip tuck and shut up. Allegedly. But the tea is piping hot. And it doesn't stop there, because this rabbit hole goes straight to backroom payoffs, secret slush funds, and a Kardashian-run church that may be more scandalous than sanctified. Buckle up, because once you hear what Kanye said, there's no unknowing it. What do Kris Jenner's suddenly tighter jawline and Sean Diddy Combs' federal trafficking case have in common? Allegedly, hush money. Buckle up because this isn't just another plastic surgery glow-up. According to wild whispers surfacing from the depths of Hollywood's darkest corners, Kris didn't just visit her surgeon for vanity. She might have gone under the knife on Diddy's dime. Why? Some insiders claim it was a thank you gift, or more like a shut-up bonus, for keeping quiet about what she may have seen or known at those infamous industry parties. We're talking luxury favors for loyalty in a world where silence is more valuable than gold. So is Kris's new face a mask or a receipt? Let's get into it. Let's rewind for a second, because before Kris Jenner's alleged hush money facelift ever made headlines, Kanye West was already lobbing grenades at the Kardashian empire. Ever since his explosive divorce from Kim, he has been on a mission to burn every bridge he once built with the family that helped catapult him into reality TV royalty. He's accused them of manipulating the media, exploiting their children, and worst of all, trying to control him through PR spin and backdoor deals. He didn't just air the dirty laundry. He dumped the whole hamper on Instagram, in interviews, even in leaked text messages. Remember when he called Kris Jong-un? Or when he claimed the family tried to kidnap his daughter Chicago by not giving him the address to her birthday party? Yeah, it's been that kind of war. And as recently as last year, he accused the Kardashians of being part of what he calls a Hollywood trafficking ring. A deeply disturbing, albeit vague, allegation that was mostly shrugged off at the time. But now, in light of Diddy's legal unraveling and whispers of celebrity cover-ups, Kanye's chaotic rants are starting to look a lot less like a bitter ex, and a lot more like a warning shot. Was Ye spilling industry secrets in plain sight this whole time? Or was it just another chapter in his war with the world's most famous family? Either way, the receipts are aging like radioactive wine, and it's time we start connecting the dots. Now let's zoom out and get into Diddy's long, dirty history of making problems and people disappear. Because this isn't new. Long before the raids, before the lawsuits, before the headlines finally caught up, there were whispers, allegations, patterns. And those patterns always pointed to one thing: silence by any means necessary. Start with Roger Bond, a former security guard for model Gina Flores. Back in the early 2000s, Flores allegedly had damning information about Diddy's private parties, stories involving coercion, underage girls, and drugs. But according to Bond, once Diddy got wind that she might go public, everything changed. Flores suddenly disappeared from the media circuit, and Bond says he personally witnessed intimidation tactics being used. People showing up unannounced, veiled threats, and a serious push for her to sign an NDA. When she refused, she allegedly lost her modeling contracts overnight. And that's not an isolated case. Multiple sources from inside Bad Boy Records and Diddy's inner circle have spoken, sometimes anonymously, about a mysterious slush fund used to pay off potential whistleblowers. We're talking hundreds of thousands in untraceable cash payments, gifted luxury cars, and legal settlements with ironclad, non-disclosure agreements. These weren't just hush payments. They were strategic silencing tools designed to erase people from the narrative before the public ever got a whiff. But when money didn't work, fear did. Multiple women have come forward, either through lawsuits or leaks, describing how they received anonymous threats after cutting ties with Diddy. Phone calls with no voice on the other end. Strange men showing up at their homes. One woman even claimed her dog was killed in what she believed was a warning. And the craziest part? None of these incidents ever seemed to result in police intervention. It's as if the fear was baked into the system. Speak up, and you'll lose everything, or worse. So when we hear rumors that Diddy might have bankrolled a little facelift fund for Kris Jenner, that's not just messy, it fits the pattern. The expensive gifts, the timing, the silence. It's the same formula he's allegedly used for decades to bury the truth under money, NDAs, and fear. And now, with federal investigations cracking open that old playbook, the people he once paid to stay quiet may not have a choice anymore. Let's bring this scandal right back to Kris Jenner, because according to multiple sources and Kanye himself, she wasn't just standing on the sidelines sipping champagne while Diddy's empire started crumbling. No, Kris allegedly had a hand on the lever, pulling strings behind the scenes and collecting favors like trophies. And if the whispers are true, one of those favors came in the form of cold, hard cash, allegedly used to bankroll her latest plastic surgery. Now, fans started buzzing when Kris stepped out recently looking a little different. Tighter skin, elevated cheekbones, smoother everything. We're not talking about a soft filter or a new makeup artist. This was a full-on reboot. And the timing? Suspiciously aligned with Diddy's legal storm. While his homes were getting raided coast to coast, Kris was popping up with a refreshed face and a suddenly quieter presence in the media. Why now? Why disappear just as her name started circling the rumor mill? Kanye, never one to bite his tongue, dropped the bomb. He claimed Kris wasn't just aware of Diddy's PR cleanup tactics. She was part of them. According to him, she allegedly helped coordinate hush deals, fed media outlets favorable angles, and smoothed over legal messes with connections only the momager from hell could access. And in return, a little nip, a little tuck, all funded from the same alleged hush money war chest Diddy's used for decades. Think about it. Diddy's scrambling to contain the fallout, and suddenly Kris, queen of media manipulation, has a vested interest in keeping things quiet. It's not just about saving face. It's about staying out of the blast zone. But if the rumors are true, she might be more entangled in the chaos than anyone thought. And that freshly snatched face? It might be the most expensive NDA she's ever signed. Now, if you thought the plastic surgery hush money was wild, let's talk about something even more off the wall, but backed by a growing number of suspicious breadcrumbs: the church. That's right. The Kris Jenner church is a front theory has officially re-entered the chat. And this time, it's being dragged into Diddy's dark orbit. California Community Church. On paper, it sounds wholesome. Founded by Kris Jenner and her longtime pastor Brad Johnson, the church has existed quietly since the early 2010s. But conspiracy theorists and finance watchdogs alike have been eyeing it sideways for years. Why? Because membership allegedly requires monthly tithes plus 10% of your income. Let that sink in. That's not just devotion. That's financial dedication, and it raises a huge red flag when you remember how donations can turn into tax write-offs when funneled through a religious institution. Which brings us to the bigger, scarier question. Is this church just a spiritual safe haven, or is it a well-oiled machine designed to clean up dirty money? See, California Community Church has long been rumored to operate as a financial laundromat for Hollywood elites. The numbers don't lie. When celebrities are donating huge chunks of income into a low-profile church with virtually no public accounting, it's hard not to ask where that money is going and what it's being used for. Enter Diddy. With his decades-long pattern of hush money payouts, shell companies, and off-the-book settlements, people are now wondering, did some of that alleged slush fund money pass through Kris's church? It's all speculation for now, but the timing is uncanny. Just as Diddy's empire faces its biggest legal threat, this sleepy little church, rarely mentioned in public, is back under scrutiny. Social media sleuths are resurfacing old tax documents, connecting dots between anonymous donations and sudden real estate purchases, all while Kris keeps eerily quiet. And if there's one thing we know about the Kardashians, it's that silence means something's up. So whether it's a spiritual sanctuary or a laundering loophole, California Community Church is officially part of the conversation. And if prosecutors start pulling at that thread, Kris Jenner's holy empire might unravel faster than a reality show reunion special. Let's rewind to 2020, the year Kanye West broke the internet with a tweet storm that left everyone stunned, confused, and honestly a little concerned. At the time, people brushed it off as another Kanye meltdown, but in today's context, some of those wild claims are starting to sound a lot less like delusion and a lot more like disclosure. Remember the Get Out tweet? Kanye posted, and I quote, "Everybody knows the movie Get Out is about me." He wasn't being metaphorical. He was dead serious. In the same breath, he accused Kris Jenner, yes, Kris Jong-un, as he called her, of trying to control him, saying she and Kim tried to lock him up, allegedly attempting to 5,150 him, which is the California code for involuntary psychiatric hold. At the time, the public wrote it off as an erratic cry for help. But now, As we watch Diddy's empire crumble under allegations of manipulation, intimidation, and abuse, Kanye's warnings hit differently. He said Kim and Kris tried to silence him, that they were part of a larger machine working behind the scenes to suppress the truth. People laughed. They rolled their eyes. But what if Kanye wasn't having a breakdown? What if he was breaking free? He talked about being surrounded by handlers, about deals being made without his consent, about being isolated from his children. And now, in the midst of these Diddy investigations, with NDAs unraveling and secret payoffs exposed, the breadcrumbs Kanye left behind are starting to form a trail. We're not saying Kanye's a saint. Far from it. But maybe, just maybe, the man who screamed into the void wasn't crazy. He was early. And if Kris Jenner really was connected to Diddy's alleged machine of silence and manipulation, then Kanye might have been trying to warn us all along. At this point, it's clear we're not just talking about a Kanye West meltdown. This isn't just tabloid drama or another celebrity feud gone nuclear. This is about how Hollywood protects its own, how the most powerful figures in entertainment, people like Diddy, people like Kris Jenner, move behind the scenes with money, lawyers, NDAs, and image consultants like chess pieces on a billion-dollar board. The real story? It's about who gets silenced and who gets shielded. Victims are discredited. Witnesses are paid off. Lawsuits vanish. And the people pulling the strings? They keep climbing higher. Kris Jenner didn't just build a media empire. She built a fortress. One reinforced by reputation laundering, PR cleanups, and if the allegations are true, strategic alliances with men like Diddy who know exactly how to keep skeletons buried. So we have to ask, who else is in on it? How many other scandals have been scrubbed clean before they ever made headlines? How many careers were traded for silence? How many victims were made invisible? Kris built the Kardashian empire off the art of turning scandal into opportunity. But if she's not just managing crises, but actively participating in the cover-ups, then that success came at a cost far darker than we ever imagined. Because in Hollywood, power doesn't just protect, it erases. And sometimes, the dirtiest secrets are hiding in plain sight, wearing a smile, holding a Bible, and posing for the cameras like nothing ever happened. So here's where the rabbit hole gets darker, deeper, and a little too quiet. All these puzzle pieces, hush money, NDAs, anonymous threats, refreshed faces, conveniently timed church donations. None of them are confirmed. But together, they paint a picture that's impossible to ignore. And the most chilling part, no one's really denying it. The silence from Kris Jenner's camp isn't just strategic, it's deafening. So, who's protecting who? Is Kris Jenner really just a reality TV mom who master media spin? Or is she something far more calculated? A Hollywood fixer in heels, with a Rolodex full of favors and a war chest funded by scandal. Because if what Kanye's been yelling into the void for years is even partially true, then we have to wonder, how much power does she really have? And more importantly, what has she done to keep it? What happens if Kanye does drop receipts? If those cryptic tweets and manic live streams weren't delusions, but breadcrumb trails to a machine way bigger than any of us thought? What if the Get Out reference wasn't a joke, but a warning? And what about the other witnesses? The assistants, bodyguards, ex-girlfriends, and insiders who've seen too much and said too little. Are they scared? Were they paid? Or are they just waiting for the first brave one to come forward? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Power protects itself. And Hollywood is a fortress built on stories we're not allowed to hear. But every now and then, someone breaks ranks. Someone talks. And when that moment comes, when someone finally pulls back the curtain, we'll all be forced to ask, was Kris Jenner just cleaning up messes? Or was she the one handing out the shovels? Until then, keep your eyes open, because the people with the most to hide are usually the ones smiling the widest on the red carpet.